2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another round here at BRL. You join us at the one and the only and the wet Zandvoort here in the Netherlands for round number 10. Thank you for joining us. If you just came back from watching Tier 1, what a race that was. Oh my god. Spectacular race from all those fantastic drivers. Because we have our first few coming out of the pit lane to start their first laps here in qualifying. Let's press the right buttons. And there you go. There's our first drivers out. There's the AlphaTauri of Ferrari Nut, who goes out first on the intermediate tires, very closely followed by Potato in the Williams. Excuse me, I was trying to fend off a burp there. Right, so it is me, Paz. We are back in the commentary booth. It has been a 2-week break for me. Last week I was sick, and I believe the other week I had something else going on. But we're back. We missed quite a few good races. We missed another Minico win, and I believe was it a bio win while I was gone? Let me just take a quick little gander. As we're gonna go on board with Ferrari Nut for the first lap, and no, it wasn't a bio win we missed. It was an Ardell win that we missed. In through T1 and T2, very treacherous here as they work in the wet. It's easy to get the car round and dry, let alone in the wet. Look how much throttle he has to not use. That was a terrible way of trying to put that. The AlphaTauri trying his very best to keep this lap very clean. Set a good banker lap, if not a good push lap. Who knows what these conditions are going to bring to the table. Now goes through turn number 8, tricky turn number 9, fast left-hander. Stay away from those curves, get a good exit. Look at that featherness on the throttle. Featherness is a word, don't at me. Going into the Audi S. AlphaTauri looking very stable for Ferrari Nut right now. As followed closely behind is Potato. And here comes the first driver to come across the line instead of time here in Tier 2. It's going to be AlphaTauri of Ferrari Nut setting the pace for Tier 2. It's a 1:19.023, and Potato 4/10 down. We'll have NGT Blacks and Stig. No, not Stig. It was Jones, Mr. Titan, coming up across the start-finish line to finish their laps. Here comes Bio. What can he do? He's going to go top of the timesheets. And his rival this season closely follows. Toneless Death splitting the pair. Minico is P1, Toneless Death is P2, and Bio is P3. Look at that, those gaps here in just the first few minutes of qualifying. So we're going to have the other AlphaTauri coming around the final corner, or one of the final corners, wow, to come in, I would imagine, and put on a different set of tires, or if drivers will be taking these intermediate tires another round, as there goes Ferrari Nut. Not setting timesheets ablaze, but here comes the Ferrari, and the Ferrari goes quicker. Alfa Romeo Ron Swanson puts in a lap for P8, and we are severely lagging behind as NGT Blacks cross the line from P13, and he will go 6th place, followed by both Hasses. Whoa, Kermit! Kermit goes P2! As Spin Axis is going to start his lap, and that is, I think, Stig with a spin. No, that was Minico. I'm so sorry, Stig. Minico with a spin. As the Red Bull is now going to start another flyer on this lap. As I say that, I think that is Jones Gang. And it was Jones Gang and PSR Sky having a moment. Both almost at the same exact time, and now trying to let other drivers go is PSR Sky. It's a very sensible move. That is the wrong AlphaTauri. There he is. He's going to the pits. In case you guys missed Tier 1, let me just fill you in on what you missed. Just about everything. Everything from safety car restarts to double overtakes into turn 3. As Bio goes quicker in Sector 1, I believe that was. No, yeah, no, it wasn't. That was Sector 2. Wow. But Tier 1 providing great racing, and we are hoping here that Tier 2 can replicate, as Bio does seem, it says he improves, but does not improve his position, as we've got a handful of cars coming across the start finish line. Oh, as that is Shamrock in the Alfa Romeo Aston Martin. Wow. Oh, it's going to take us a little bit to get back into the groove of things, isn't it? Going on board with the one and only Ron Swanson in the Alfa Romeo around the final corners. Look how sensitive they have to be on this throttle. Not even full power yet. Still not full power. Still not full power. And finally he plants the throttle down. And he's still... Oh, he backs out. The Alfa Romeo backs out of that lap, as Spin Axis is going to come across and go into the pit lane. Tricky pit lane entry this is. In the dry, and let alone now, again, in the wet. Now is Stig gonna go another lap? No, he's not. What about Groggy? Groggy's gonna come around for a lap. He's gonna put in one, and he's just gonna go P13. And this is Bio now coming across. He's not going to improve. If he's just doing some running on that tire, and we've only got a handful of cars out on track. Let's go across with Brian Ice is coming across the final corner. What is it going to be for the AlphaTauri? Not an improvement, as Potato is on soft in the pits. As Stig, as I say that, just switched to soft. Now, is this the time for drivers to start switching onto a different compound of tire? Two drivers definitely think so, or is this just a mean trick? The track does seem to be getting quicker. Bio still setting fastest sector 2 times. That looks like the Alpine is going into the pits, and here comes Bio. He's going to go across the line. This is going to be an improvement for Bio. Yes, it is. It's going to be a 1:17.6, nearly 4/10 up on Minico's time. Surely, as people are going to start improving their times, PSR Sky jumps up a place in front of the Haas driver. NGT Blacks is going to start his lap as I keep burping, as Ferrari Nut just barely beats Bio. As you can see, these lap times are starting to tumble down. Let's see, does Ron Swanson stick to the right-hand side and keep into the pits? No, he's gonna go out for another lap. Oh no, he's gonna finish his lap, and he's gonna go. It says provisional pole, but we've got two identical times. Two 117.639s here in Tier 2. As NGT Blacks lets by the Aston Martin. And Bio, is he going to stay out for another one? Or is he going to be coming in this time? Looks like he's coming in. Now here comes PSR Sky. Doesn't look like to be raining at all anymore. It's not going to be an improvement. No movement in that pit lane, as you can see. I can't find the driver I'm looking for. There he is, and he comes into the pit lane. NGT Black's going to come across the line. No improvement yet again for the Mercedes driver. On Swanson, he's going to be going into the pits. Looks like both Ferraris are now out and both behind each other. You can see some people are still on intermediates. Some are gunning for the slick compound tire, and that is right now Potato, Groggy, and Kermit all on a lap right now. Those three are... Oh, I didn't change the title, as the Ferrari of PSR Sky goes around and messes up Jones Gang, and I wonder if that's going to hamper that lap, and they're just going to both go into the pits for soft compound of tire, as it looks like there is no more rain. NGT Blacks is going to go faster. 16.3 on those intermediate tires. But what can these new soft runners do? Here comes Kermit into the pit lane. He's not going to set a lap time. Let's watch Potato. This is one of the first laps on the soft compound tire. Surely this is going to break to that top spot, and he's going to have a blistering lap time, as sure enough, he goes fastest in Sector 1. You just got to keep it nice and tidy. He's going to go in the long right-hander of, I believe, turn 8, followed by turn 9 left-hander, getting on the grass there a little bit with that right-hand front tire. Mashing on the brakes into the Audi S's, taking as much curb as he dares. He's going to go fastest in Sector 2. What kind of lap time is it going to be for the Alpine driver here in Tier 2? Take in mind, he did race in Tier 1 for a little bit of practice, and here he is in Tier 2. Is it going to be, there it is, a 114.886. That is the bar for the soft compound of tires. Now your second driver that's going to be putting a time will be this man, Ron Swanson in the Alfa Romeo. What can he do? He's going to open DRS, and I believe he's going to start a lap. So there he goes. And this is going to be the second representative time, I believe, in... Oh no, it's going to be Bio. Bio's going to be coming across and setting the second representative time for the soft compound tire, the slick. And he's going to dip. He dips, and he's going to try and go for a different set of softs. Is he going to get held up by his teammate? Oh no. That's not going to be good for him, as Ron Swanson is now going to set a purple Sector 1. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry, guys. All right, here comes Mr. Fish Helmet through T8 and T9. It's very tricky, but it's very flowing track, Zandvoort. Opening DRS, 36% on that DRS charge. He's going to mash on those brakes, about 80% in trail breakdown. Fastest sector 2 time, and he's going to round these final two right-handers and wants to carry that momentum. Look at that full power now, as one of the Ferraris is round in sector 1. Here comes Ron Swanson. It's going to be a 112.732 from the Alfa Romeo. What a lap, and here comes Ferrari Nut to try and see what he can do on this slick compound now that the track is drying. Here we go. Now NGT Blacks is finishing up his outlap as Ron Swanson lets by the Haas of Kermit. Blacks will cross the line to start his final flying lap, I would imagine, as it's coming down to the wire for these drivers. Thomas Death is going to go fastest. That's what we were looking for. We missed it. As PSR Sky does not match the pace of the Alpha Tauri. Here comes the other Ferrari. I believe that is going to be a starting lap for Jones Gang. And here comes the Haas of Spin Axis. Not going to be an improvement. What about Ferrari Nut? Using all that ERS. He's going to go pole position with a 111.3. Just over a tenth faster than Thomas Death. And currently, it is a Alpha Tauri 1-2 here in Tier 2. Can the Haas team or the Red Bulls do anything about this? Here comes the Haas of Kermit. Doesn't set a blistering time. Red Bulls, here they go. They're going to start their times right now. Here comes the Mercedes coming across the line. He's going to go into P3. Here comes TRL Stig. He's going to cross the line and start up his lap. It's the final laps. Here comes Bio. It's going to be a 1:17.6. PSR Sky and Jones Gang finally go back up into, or it was Jones Gang going up into position for Ferrari to make it 5 and 6. And that is Spin Axis going up into 5th position. Ron Swanson will be coming into the pit lane, I would imagine. No, he's coming in, staying for another lap. No, it's not going to be any improvement. For the final time, the Alpha Tauri comes across. One spins out. What can the other Haas do? Can it be an improvement from P12? Yes, it's a P3 for the Haas. What about Minico? Minico's going to go pole. What about Groggy? Or not Groggy, Potato. Potato goes P2. All eyes are now on this man, Bio. He's going to come across the start-finish line. Where is he going to be? It's only going to be P4 for the Mercedes. And last across the line is going to be Jones Gang, Groggy Oregano, and Thomas Death to finish out qualifying here in Tier 2. And your top three are Minico, Stig, and Potato. Red Bull lock out the front row here in Zandvoort, Tier 2. It is Minico on top, followed by TRL Stig, and then the Alpine of Potato. P4, you have Bio and the Mercedes, 4/10 down. It's not what the Mercedes driver would have wanted, but we have a long and probably action-packed race ahead of us. So he has his hopes high as Toneless Death and Ferrari Nut 5 and 6, Kermit P7, NGT Blacks P8, Groggy Oregano P9, bottom of the top 10, Spin Axis, PSR Sky, Ron Swanson, Jones Gang, and Mr. Titan, Bad Bunny Flow, and Drunken Smack Rock. Both Aston Martins, not setting in a time. But there's your grid. It's time to get underway. As we now get to have just a little bit of a breather, let me know your predictions in chat. Who is going to take the crown, the win here at Zandvoort? Is it going to be as action-packed as it was in Tier 1? Is it going to be as many safety cars as we had in Tier 1? Will Mercedes finally be able to, or will Red Bull be able to pull back Mercedes and take advantage of this 1-2 and get Mercedes top spot in the constructors? They are only 22 points behind Mercedes in the constructors championship. Mercedes with 221 points and Red Bull with 199. P3 in this championship is Alpine, Potato, and P3 in that Alpine. Hopefully get good points. They are 98 points behind Red Bull, 120 points behind Mercedes. Moving over to the drivers' table, Minico is your current championship leader, followed by Bio, who is 40 points behind. They both had a very good outing, and NGT Blacks in the Mercedes follows closely behind, 29 points behind Bio, and 69 points behind Minico in that Red Bull. Now, enough talk. It's time to go racing here at Zandvoort. 4 seconds to go before we are lights out. And there is no formation lap this time around as these drivers are going to get ready. There those lights are. And there those lights go, and it's green flag racing here at Zandvoort, and one Aston Martin does not get away at all as Potato gets a better start than the Red Bull. The Red Bull is getting swallowed up by Mercedes as Minico potentially is going to lose the lead here. No, he's not, as that is a bunch of cars getting mixed up, and I'm going to catch my breath for a second as Bad Bunny Flow got DSQ'd for being parked in a dangerous position. Ferrari, I'm not sure if he lost it or got contact. There is no damage to that car. But we have a virtual safety car on lap 1. Whew. As this kind of brings the race into a Dolan state. Hopefully no one gains the advantage. That is the purpose of the virtual safety car. Try and get the debris picked up without anyone gaining advantage during the race and without having to grab that safety car out. Pretty hectic start here at Zandvoort. Let's talk about your big mover so far on lap 1. Jones Gang in the Ferrari moving 7 spots and Groggy moving up 4 spots. And we're green flag racing here again. Very quick VSC period, as there's your predicted pit strategy. The soft runners topping around lap 12 or lap 10. And your hard runners, I think, or medium runners, I think that was lap 16, lap 20. Wow. Excuse me, gentlemen. Very sorry. As now we're going to go and watch the Ferrari try and overtake the Alpine. Oh, this is not an overtaking spot, but the Alpine decides to let the Ferrari go. You can make moves into that corner. The soft tires will make it happen, and they will stick. You just have to be careful. And there it is. You can see again, lap 16 is the mediums. And there's quite a few drivers on mediums and hards, as that's Groggy. Groggy's falling down the order. down the order. Oh my god, what's happening to me? I'm so sorry. As the gap from Minico and Potato is increasing now it's decreasing 0.3 of a second. we have quite a few battles out on track. It is only lap 3. Here comes the Ferrari of PRS Sky trying to make up for a poor start. He's going to make this move. The Alfa Romeo, and it's going to almost end in tears, but the Ferrari and Alfa Tauri somehow keeping everything together, as that Ferrari is going to be breathing down the neck of the Alfa Tauri, along with this Ferrari of Jones Gang 7 along Bio. Whoa, he gets onto the grass there, does the number 21 Ferrari, trying to make as much time up as possible on those softs compared to the hard compound tire. And if anyone doesn't know, the soft compound tire, like the name says, it is the softest compound tire. It is faster, it wears faster. The hards, it's the hardest. It is the hardest tire, wears the slowest. Medium, it's your in-between. That is your short rundown of how tires work. They're made of rubber. They're very soft. And that is TRL Stig with another spin added to his counter. And he's going to drop down from P3, I believe it was, down to P12. And he's got to be careful about those hard tires. They're not going to be very happy. And that's a move for P1 as Minico and Potato are going to go hammer and tong up in the T3. Minico's going to have the inside. He's going to carry the momentum. But here comes the Alpine on the inside going through. They're still side by side, not giving an inch as Minico falls back behind the Alpine. And there's going to be no moves as Energy Blacks sets the 1:13.3. It's going to be the fastest lap of the race down to P13 as the Mercedes. But the Alpine of Potato getting the tire advantage to work for him, getting past that Red Bull. How well can he make those mediums work? Now, take in mind, remember, Minico is the grand master of ERS saving. He is, in my eyes, one of the better drivers at managing ERS. Along here with Kermit, he also is showing that he too can save that ERS. And speaking of, he's going to use some trying to get past this Ferrari. Let's go on board. He's going to have DRS, and there's going to be a little bit of a DRS training here between these couple of drivers. Actually, it stops with the Alfa Tauri. And look how close Jones Gang is to Ron Swanson, as he must have had a mistake. He's going to have another mistake. He keeps the throttle pinned, and he pirouettes twice. This is Formula One. This is not ballet class. Oh, goodness. That is terrible news for Ferrari. And as Ferrari have done, Ferrari will continue to do. And they find themselves starting P11 and P12 now, as that is a Haas of spin axis being a DNF in this race, as he calls it quits for now. The battle is up for P3, or for P1 up until P3, as all these gaps are pretty much all up to 1 second, except for TRL Stig and Groggy Oregano, which TRL Stig is trying to make a move on the Alpine, the other Alpine, and on those harder compound tires, it's going to be a little tricky at the beginning of the race, but when it comes time those tires start to wear out, that Red Bull will be all over the back of the Alpine, just as Minico is all over the back of this Alpine. The roles are the same, just farther down the grid order, as Jones Gang is going to DNF into the pit lane, as well as Minico all over the back of Potato. Potato can feel the pressure. What will Potato do? Is they're gonna stay civilized for now. Going to T8 in turn number 9, the Mercedes sticking close behind. Ron Swanson wants to try and catch up to these guys as quick as possible, as Jones Gang's Ferrari pulls out the pit lane to just stop about 10 meters away from pit exit. Oh, excuse me, I'm so sorry. Minico and Bio about 5/10 from each other, brought us up to Potato and Minico. As we're going to go down to TRL Stig and Groggy Oregano. this battle still raging on as everyone's relatives is over 1 second except for Bio and TRL Stig. So we're gonna watch this battle and see if the Red Bull can slowly reel in this Alpine driver. He's gonna get super close to the entry of T1. Oh, excuse me, I was taking a quick drink from my parched throat. Minico still all over the back of this Alpine, trying to, well, I wouldn't say trying to stay with him. He's yet to touch his ERS again. Again, still not using ERS. It's Bio is still trying to use up some of his to try and keep up with this front group. These top three are starting to run away. It looks like those softs of Ron Swanson are either falling off, or the pace of the top three, like we have said, is just not catchable for the rest of these drivers as it stands. Now that could totally change down the line. Time will tell, as Stig is still not able to catch that Alpine. He's going to try and bide his time, I would imagine, and make sure that Alpine doesn't run away with those softer compound tires of the mediums. As Minico grabs the lead again, Potato must have had a mistake because he is now almost a second away from the Red Bull, as now Minico is starting to use up that ERS battery, trying to get out of DRS range, I would imagine, as Bio is going to be smelling fumes from the Alpine, wanting to try and make up for what happened that we had missed. That battle will still rage on as we move down to the battle for P4. Toneless Death in the Alpha Tower has caught the Alfa Romeo of Ron Swanson, the one and only, ladies and gentlemen. And Kermit is close behind Toneless Death, ready to pounce and try and take up 2 positions if these drivers come together or have any sort of issues with each other. And the Ferrari of PSR Sky is trying to make amends for this start of the race. Ferrari, again, not having a great race. He hasn't gained any positions from the race. I'm going to go ahead and take a look at your positions. Ron Swanson being your biggest mover, as the Ferrari trying to make a move on the Aston Martin. It's not going to do anything. Ron Swanson, yes, is your biggest mover, staying consistent. He is up into P4, trying to get a good result here. Second biggest mover is the battle right now. Drunken Shamrock. Up 6 positions. Up 6 positions, trying to defend from a prancing horse. Ferrari's going to take a wider line. It's not going to do anything right now. He has DRS, but there's no real pace enough for them to make a move. But as I say that, he gets a move done as we switch out from this battle, and the Ferrari gets past the Aston Martin, and now battles all over the place. Now DRS trains galore are happening as we speak, as Toneless Death, Kermit, and Ron Swanson are finding battles, and Potato, Bio, and Minico are still this top 3 league of their own. League of their own. The gap from P4 is now almost 5 seconds. Toneless Death trying to snatch that P4 away from the red Alfa Romeo, so along with Kermit. Not too far off is Groggy, fighting with TRL Stig about 5 seconds behind. Here comes the Red Bull. It is looking mighty feisty. Now finally the roles have switched. The front Alpine is trying to march down and grab the first Red Bull, and the second Red Bull is trying to march down and grab the second Alpine. Now, Will either of these parties be successful in their attempts to try and get past these drivers? As look at the drive that the Alpha Tauri has on the Alfa Romeo, and it's going to be hello, and it's going to be goodbye for the Alpha Tauri, as the Haas is now looking very, very aggressive on the Alfa Romeo. Wonder if Ron Swanson is struggling on those soft compounds of tires. The Haas almost thought about it there on the outside. He's going to go on the inside up into turn 3, making the move, and he gets it done. The Haas using the Alfa Romeo struggles to his advantage and moves himself up into a top 5 position. PSR Sky is now trying to get on the back of Ferrari Nut, ironically enough, trying to make up for the spins and the errors that have been Ferrari this race. It seems that wherever they go, it's just somehow an error finds a way to the team and just causes just a little bit of, well, how should we call it? Not idealness for for the Ferrari team. As Bio is now finally getting closer to the Alpine of Potato 101. That is a yellow flag in Sector 3. That is a Ferrari and an Aston Martin of Drunken Shamrock and PSR Sky. Did they get together? That is going to be PSR Sky boxing. And you have to wonder if they got together. And PSR Sky is going to retire from the race. And that was not a collision between the two. I think it was a simultaneous ballet spin from those drivers. It may have been reactionary as well. Who knows? As, we're going to move on. As NGT Blacks is not having a good race for Mercedes. Down 2 spots from where he started. Minico now getting that gap from P2 up to 1.7 seconds. Potato has lost the spot to Bio. And it looks like the Alpine just kind of let the Mercedes of Bio through. That is going to spice things up, hopefully, between these championship rivals. All season long, these drivers have been fighting in this top 3. Minico seeming to be the better of the trio. Drunken Shamrock, that was words. Drunken Shamrock is going to overtake the Mercedes in the pit lane, as the Red Bull is still trying to get past the Alpine of Groggy Oregano. Surely Stig is got to be furious of seeing El Plan behind or in front of him. He wants to see a gray track and not a bright baby blue Alpine. He's sticking with DRS, and Groggy is trying to save up his ERS and try and keep that Red Bull at bay. When did these drivers pit for new tires? Well, mediums, it said it was around lap, 16? Lap 16, the mediums were lasting, the game said. Now, the hards, the top 2 are running, are going to go probably quite the distance. Is this going to be a one-stopper? Or obviously a one-stopper. Is this going to be a one-stop in the case of it being a hard to medium, or is this going to be a case of hard to softs? Stay tuned. We're going to find out. We're going to find out together. As things are kind of relatively tame here in Tier 2. The battles are raging on, but it's more so of a Stig with a nice little Tokyo drift, and manages to keep the car out of the barriers. Looks like it tried to straddle the curb as well. he's going to lose about 3 seconds to the Alpine, and that is not what those hard tires want. They're going to be screaming his name, not in the good way. So we're gonna move on to Potato, trying to stick with the Mercedes of Bio, and Minico is back at 100% with his ERS. That is Kermit. That's Kermit. Kermit makes a spin. Is it time for these drivers to switch tires? Because this traction is not what you want. It is becoming quite difficulty. Lap old mediums as we have our first bite. It's going to be a front ring change for the Aston Martin, and it's also going to be brand new hard compound tires for the green Aston Martin driver. Minico and Bio still about 2 seconds out. These gaps. Oh, here we go. Going through the Audi S's, it's a Haas and a Red Bull trying to fight it out. What a camera angle this is, as Stig, again, those tire temperatures must be a little bit high because that rear is just so twitchy coming out of the corner exits. He's going to try and burn the last of his ERS. He's going to have DRS as well. He's going to try and tuck in behind that Haas. He's going to try and make a move on the inside. He's going to go look from the outside. No. He's going to think better of it. He's going to try and make these hard compound tires last a little bit longer than Kermit's on those mediums. He's going to go around the outside trying to carry the momentum through the banked corner. It's not going to work for the Ferrari or for the Red Bull, but here he comes. He's coming back. He's using every single bit of ERS, and he gets past the Haas. Wow. From going, it looks like it wasn't going to make it through T3. He burns ERS and manages to get past the Haas through the windy bits. Woo. My, Stig. That was beautiful. Very nice. But I finally now get to catch my breath. Kind of. Kermit and Ferrari are now trying to battle out. There's now a 3-car battle for a potential P6 spot as Potato is going to dive into the pit lane. He's going to be the first driver to bite. Now, he's going to go on to the hard compound of tires. Is it going to be a good stop? Very good. Look at that. And the Alpine is out. Where is he going to come out? Looks like the AlphaTauri is going to get past, and he's going to be in clean air. Crucial for the Alpine, and if these gaps stay like this, it looks like Minico and gang will come out where those drivers were, as that is NGT Black's spinning on the final corner, just before the final corner, and that is not what Mercedes need to try and win this Constructors' Championship. He's going to stay out and try and nurse those tires back into a healthy spot. Keep in mind, those are fresh, medium tires that he just put on. Minico is getting that gap up and up and up. He's still, guys, not touching that button. As most of these drivers, we're going to take a look, most that are up at the top have a good chunk of ERS left, but majority are running lower on ERS. AlphaTauri Ferrari is trying to get past Stig, but it's probably not going to get by on this occasion, as the other Alpine is going to switch onto the same strategy, mediums to hards. Looks like a good stop for the number 2 Alpine. Where is he going to come out? Looks like he's going to come out in clear air as well, right behind Ron Swanson in P number 8. 3 seconds is the gap from P1 to P2, and 6 seconds is the gap from P3 to P2. That is now 7. Now Stig is almost completely out of ERS. Let's see if Ferrari Nut can try and make something happen out of that, as Bio is going to... Oh! as Bio is going to come into the pits for fresh mediums, whereas he's going to come out in this battle. Oh, it's going to be very close here. And the Red Bull pit crew T-posing does not pose a threat for the Mercedes, and he keeps it nice and tidy through the pit lane exit and finds himself in the battle for a current P3. He is a net P2 right now as Minico and Tomas. They're going to go quite a few laps longer than Bio and Potato and Groggy. And saying all that, there's not much happening, as there was just an overtake on P11 for Mr. Titan, getting past Drunken Shamrock. Well, here we go. There's Bio trying to get past Stig. Stig is making it very difficult for that Mercedes, as he should. As his championship rival, they want to score more points than Mercedes, so he's going to make that move difficult, regardless if he's on harder strategy or different strategy or not. Red Bull want to try and grab as many points as possible and try and rip that away from Mercedes. Right now, they're going to score a heap of points over Mercedes crew, but keep in mind that Stig still needs to pit, and along with Minico, and there is still 17 laps to go in this race, as that is the Haas of Kermit. No, oh, he's lost his front wing just at the end of Sector 1. He's going to have to limp all the way back home, and that is a full safety car? That's a full safety car. Excuse me? Excuse me? This warrants a safety car, and that's a free pit stop for Minico, for Toneless. Bio surely is going to be... Okay, no. Nope, I was wrong. Commentator wrong. It's okay, I've been out of the office for a couple weeks. Leave me alone. But Minico is going to be on fresh medium tires, as Drunken Shamrock is going to get a drive-through penalty for speeding under the safety car. It's not good. Stig is going to be behind both AlphaTauris on brand new mediums. Everybody should be going in on to brand new medium tires to finish this race, as however many laps left on soft is not the move. Alright, chat. Well, who guessed one? Who guessed one safety car? Because guess what? With 16 laps to go, you're right. We're at one. From seeing Tier 1, I was honestly expecting around like 2. From the battles that we were seeing, and from the battles that I've seen in Tier 2 at the different tracks and every different driver's style and what tracks suit their style, I was thinking we were going to have a bit more action here. You know, it's fast, it's flowing, but here we are. There's not been too many battles. It's just been who can keep up the pace, and a relative battle, as Thomas Death is going to go into the pits for newer mediums. Hang on a second. No way. Is he going on to... Okay. I thought he was about to go on softs for a second. Hey, buddy. As the Mercedes AMG safety car leads the Grand Prix, and people say F1's fastest car. There's the Mercedes safety car out in front, leading all these F1 cars. As we're going to kind of take a chill pill and relax as drivers try and keep their tire temperatures in the operating window under the safety car. Let's go ahead and take a look at the team championship standings. Right now, Alpine are going to be scoring very good points against Mercedes, and so is Red Bull. Red Bull, 22 points behind Mercedes in the Constructors' Championship. Now, if NGT Blacks can get a really good start off of this safety car and propel himself up into higher paying positions and get past TRL Stig, which is a big ask, but never say never, Mercedes can hold on to the lead here in the Constructors' Championship. Red Bull just need 22 points. Alpine, third place, has 101 points. They are 120 points behind Mercedes. Fourth is AlphaTauri. AlphaTauri is only at 95 points. They dropped a spot from the Alpine team. 6 points behind Alpine is AlphaTauri. And Ferrari in fifth place with 61 points. They are 34 points behind the AlphaTauri drivers. And there is no McLarens. There's only one Haas, and Haas have scored 47 points. Aston Martin is in 8th with 54, tied with McLaren, 54 points as well. McLaren is only 2 points out from Alfa Romeo. Alfa Romeo is only 5 points out from Ferrari. So the constructors' battle from about 4th is all up for grabs. Well, it's still all up for grabs in the wide scheme of things. There's still a couple races to go. It could change it, but just you smell when I'm stepping in. As Minico is gonna try and make this win number 6 in BRL. Season number, yes, I think it's 7, 5. Whatever season it is, we're about to go green flag racing yet again. It's season 10. It's season 10. When does Bio go? Well, on board with the Red Bull driver. He's gonna go now. There he goes. He gets a great start from the Mercedes, and it's going to be a clean getaway. Oh no, his drunken Shamrock is going to get a 5-second speeding penalty for speeding in the pit lane. And we said that NGT Blacks needed to gain some spots, and here he is. He's gained 1 spot already, trying to gain another on the AlphaTauri of Thomas Death, but he's got Kermit, and he turns into Kermit, and that's going to be an out for Mercedes! We were just talking about how Mercedes needs to go up in the championship, and that is a DNF for Mercedes. How is this not a safety car? As I am blowing out my mic, wow. NGT Blacks. Oh, off the safety car restart, trying to gain 2 positions. Hooks Kermit's front wheel and sends him into the barrier, losing his front right tire, I believe. Yes, Blacks, that is very unfortunate. Not sure what happened there entirely there. This looks like you guys got hooked and you came off much, much worse. That was very unfortunate, my friend. Was hoping to see Mercedes try and keep on to this constructors battle, as we're now going to focus our attention on the Alfa Romeo of Ron Swanson, who goes a little bit wide. He's in an Alpine sandwich. He does not want to be the meat in this sandwich. As now Groggy is going to be all over the back of this Alfa Romeo. Trying to bide his time. Everyone is on the same age of tire. It is pretty much all equal. It's down to the driver now. Bio is the only driver who is on older tires. You could say the same with Mr. Titan, but it's only about a lap or two. This Bio cannot keep up with Minico. Minico is, again, almost a second out. Oh, man. As I think Blacks says that he just had wheel spin. Tires were in optimal temperature, and they said no. So it leads me to believe that it was just a spin, and it was unfortunate. Unfortunate timing. These gaps are just doing what they were doing earlier. Everyone has found their groove and has pushed out the gaps back to what they were to our first few running laps here at the Dutch Grand Prix. Minico trying to get that lead up into the 1 second mark. As Bio is now going to have DRS, but is it going to be enough to stay in DRS range? 8.3 or 0.83. As he takes a lot of it, a lot of curb. As Mr. Titan and Toneless Death are getting close to each other. And look at this DRS train all the way from TRL Stig, all the way from P4, 5, 6, 7, 8th, 9th, and 10, or 8th and 9th, I guess, are all of DRS trains. So it's quite a battle going on there. Keep an eye out down here. Now we're going to go up to first and second and look at Minico trying to make this win 6 out of 10. 6 races out of 10. This could be for Minico. He's sitting at 5. The races where he didn't win, it was just unfortunate circumstances, and maybe one was driver error. So I believe if it weren't for those, Minico would have quite the advantage in the championship standings. It is still about 40 points difference. That is a good chunk, but it's not enough. And these battles are just not happening. I say that, and there's almost two overtakes on one lap on one stretch of track. That's Toneless Death getting past Groggy Oregano. That's Kermit getting past Mr. Titan. And I'm just going to keep saying battles are not happening because as we say that, battles happen. So there's currently no battles out on track, and I think it's going to stay this way. Eyes emoji, eyes emoji. Nope, no battles. Maybe third time lucky. It's almost starting in the 29th lap here of this entertaining Dutch Grand Prix, as the Red Bull of Tyrrell Stig is trying desperately to try and get past that Alpha Tauri of Ferrari. Now, they are both sitting around the same level of ERS. You gotta be careful. Potato and Ron Swanson behind them, they are sitting at a much fuller charge. But the Alpine just now using ERS, he's just using dabs of it, just dabbing. Oh, here we go, as Stig was trying to make a move. No, Stig! No! No! Oh, was that just an over-aggressive move from the Red Bull? It's going to drop him from P4, P3 potentially, down to P10. Oh no! Kermit and now Groggy are the ones getting close to each other. Let's see if either one of these drivers. That is not a. There we go. I switched to the Haas, but it was still staying on the Williams. Now here comes the American power of the Haas, sponsored by Ferrari. Trying to get past the Alpine. Speaking of getting past the Alpine, Ron Swanson does just that and promotes himself up into P3, 3.7 seconds behind P2. But a podium for Ron Swanson would be a very good result indeed for the Alfa Romeo driver. As Kermit and Groggy still gap 2/10. He's pretty much pushing this driver through the track and trying to make him make a mistake potentially, and try and gain just some more points for Haas, as they do desperately need in this championship. As the battle for the lead is sort of, you can say, raging on, but the gap is not changing. As not Ron Swanson, it's Ferrari Nut and Potato going hammer and tong side by side going to turn 2, and they stick single file going into turn 3. It's a wise move, gentlemen. Make your move on the straights. These drivers, even though they are completed 31 laps, they are still full of aggression and ready to make a move if need be. Speaking of making a move if need be, Haas in P8 trying to get past Alpine in P7. It is Kermit v Groggy Oregano. And what can the Haas do to try and get this Alpine to succumb to the American sponsored car? As looks like Kermit takes a much better line through there, but does not get the exit he would desire. He falls down to 5/10. Speaking of gaps falling down, Bio is falling down about 2/10. And look at the top two, or look at the 3, 4, and 5 all staying together, staying on that right side, trying to break the slipstream. Look at your top two. They are gone. Almost 5 seconds away from Ron Swanson. Ron Swanson has actually pulled in about a 10th from Bio, and is now 2/10. I don't know if you would read much into that, but there you go. Let's try and look at the battles we have on track. Now Stig is going to be trying to gain as much position as he possibly can, as he's gonna go for a move. Oh my gosh, wheels are so close to touching. He's gonna go for a cutback here on the Williams driver. He's gonna look for it. He's gonna be itching to get on that ERS button. There he goes. The Williams does not have any more ERS, but it's gonna be tight. Going to the Audi S's side by side. Stig on the inside, outside, now on the inside. Almost a little bit of contact on the exit of the corner, pushing the Williams onto the curb, but the Williams is gonna get the better exit, still side by side, as Minako's gonna set the fast lap of the race for 112.804, and Stig is gonna barely miss the wall. Oh, and Mr. Titan Stig leaving nothing out on this track. They're sending it all today, and we love to see it. We are all here for it. As now we're gonna go on track for another battle between Ron Swanson and Ferrari Nut. Things are kicking off here finally here at Zandvoort in BRL Tier 2, round number 10. Oh my goodness. as that's Drunken Shamrock going into the pits for how many times is that now? 2. He retires from the pit lane. It's unfortunate he couldn't try and finish out the race. But let's take a look at this gap. Minico decides to use his ERS and is now 3 seconds clear. Nearly 3 seconds clear. Oh, and Ferrari Nuts had a mistake. It's a safety car. Wait, Kermit's out. Oh my goodness. Are we about to have a 1-lap shootout? Nobody pits except for one, and that's Groggy Oregano, and I don't think anyone is going to be pitting. Oh, 3 drivers pit, so he's not going to be losing too many positions, but he will lose a couple. These drivers are going to go on to brand new softs. Stig being one of those drivers, he gains a spot in the pit lane. Oh, if we go back to green flag racing, watch out for the 7th, 8th, and 9th position cars. Oh, it's on. Oh, wow. We're going to have an exciting end to this race, ladies and gentlemen. Tier 1 had a fantastic race. Tier 2 is going to have yet another, as we're going to go green flag racing this lap. And this is not going to allow the 3 soft runners to get onto the back of the group. Or will it? How slow will Minico go? Is there going to be some sort of team game to try and let his teammate get a little closer to the group? What will Minico do? Let's go on board. He's barely on that accelerator. He's trying. Oh, look how close he's going to be. Here comes another Red Bull. He is not even on the throttle, barely. About 5% throttle. Minico is backing the field up, and here he goes. He picks it up. And look at this. Here comes Stig and Grog. We're going to run the corner. Stig is going to be coming around. Oh my goodness. This is going to be 2 laps of racing from these drivers in the back. He sends it. Oh, Stig. Oh no, Stig. I can't. No. As the aggression and the antics from Minico do not pay off for Stig or for Ferrari now, as Mr. Titan is going to DNF from the race. Oh my goodness, what is happening? As there's now only 8 remaining drivers left in this race with 2 laps to go. I don't know if these soft runners are going to be able to well, surely they're going to be able to compete. I don't know how much these... Oh, there he goes! As I say it, the soft runners will not be able to compete. Every single one of the soft runners, all 3 of them, having battle-ending incidents. And this may just be your finishing order, as we're going to start the final lap with Minico, trying to make this win number 2 in a row. Win number 6 on the season. Mind you, we are on round number 10. As Potato and Ron Swanson are getting close to each other, it's the last lap, boys. You have to make your moves now, but make them clean and make them fair. And look at Potato. He's going to be using every single bit of the ERS, trying to grab P3 from Ron Swanson. Will Potato have the pace and the ERS to try and snatch this podium away from the Alfa Romeo? The Alfa Romeo has a lot more ERS going into turn number 8. I don't think it's going to be enough from the Alpine to snatch away the podium position from the Alfa Romeo. And coming across, starting Sector 3, is the Red Bull of Minico. Bio, Ron Swanson, Potato, Toneless Death, Stig, and Ferrari Nuts. Groggy Oregano. Let's say Ferrari Nut spins into sector number 2. It is going to be now in last place, but across the final corner, rounding it out, going final to the banking, using the rest of his ERS, it's going to be P1. 6 wins for Minico, followed by P2 and P3 Bio and Ron Swanson, Potato in P4, Thomas Death in P5, Stakes in the Chrome Cross line in P6. Groggy Oregano is going to finish in P7, and Ferrari will eventually come across the line and finish P8. But Minico tops the session yet again with win number 6 on the season. He has 6 out of 10 for the season. What a amazing performance from the Red Bull. Team-wise, they could have used a little bit more points, but hey, a win and a Mercedes not getting points is a win for the team. Minico is your driver who got first position, and the game is driver of the day. There you have it, Ron Swanson, who claims the final spot in that podium. Wow, that was it was starting to become a very dull race, and it picked up so much at the end. There he is. There's your winner, skipping like the happy man he probably is. It's another first place for Minico, 2 in a row. He's going to be very happy about that. We're going to hear from these top 3 drivers here in just a moment, as these drivers are going to be celebrating their podium positions. And Minico, again, can't give him enough credit. That's 6 wins. Number 6. Yet again, it's Minico and Bio on the top steps of the podium. And there you have it. P1 is Minico. P2, closely follows Bio. P3 is Ron Swanson. Potato, P4. Tolan's Death rounds up your top 5. And the rest of the grid, you have the Red Bull and TRL Stig in P6. Groggy Oregano, Ferrari, Mr. Titan, Kerman Attack in the Haas. Drunk Shamrock in the Aston Martin, and P12 down did not finish, which is NGT Blacks, PSR Sky, Jones Gang 7, Spin Axis, and Bad Bunny Flow. What an amazing race, as TRL Stig is going to get, I believe, 1 extra point for the fastest lap, if that's how they do it here. We're going to wait for this to end, and that's going to be one hell of a race for Red Bull in the championship standings. It's going to decrease that gap quite significantly, and I'm sure the Red Bull boys will be happy about the performance, considering what happened to Mercedes. Now we're going to pause for just one moment, and we're going to find our drivers for the race and get them in here for interviews. There's one of them. And there's the other. And we need to get Mr. Swanson in here. Never mind, there he is. Right, welcome everybody for your post-race interviews. We're going to start off with Mr. Ron Swanson. It's another podium up here for you. Tell us how the race went from your perspective.
It went fantastic. Starting on the softs was the best idea anyone could have had. I'm a genius.
It looked very thrilling from our perspective up here. I say our, it was just me this week. But that was a very exciting race to watch. It was kind of dull there for a moment, and then once we kind of kicked off in the later stages, it all just kind of ramped all up. Speaking of, what were your thought process going through those multiple safety cars there at the end?
Thought there was only one. Oh wait, no, there was two. Sorry, I'm having a moment. That last one was a little goofy. The game's a little goofy for that one, but the first one was easy. Just getting on the mediums. I didn't really have any pace on the hards. I didn't practice though, so I shouldn't say that. It was okay. Passing potato looked like he was struggling in dirty air, and once I think Stig wrecked in front of who was it? Ferrari Nut, and we passed him. He was pretty easy, but then I lost all my grip as soon as I passed him, so I had to hold on till the end. But I did it, and I think Minico is an L.
Well, congratulations.
What the hell?
Shut up.
Congratulations on yet again reaching it up to the podium spots. It is
Yay.
well deserved, and congratulations yet again on your P3. Moving on to.
Are you gonna ask me about next week, man?
Okay, well, how about next week? What are your what are your thoughts on next week? Tell us about it.
What's the track?
That's a good question.
Minico, go.
Do I need to answer that? It's Baku.
It's Baku.
I don't like straight line setups, and that is a straight line track, so probably not that good if I even am able to show up. Okay, have a nice day.
Now we're gonna move on to P2 of Bio yet again. Glad to see you up in the podium, another P2, but stuck behind the Red Bull of Minico yet again. But it looked like a good race from my perspective. Let's hear your thoughts.
Well, the only comment I have for that race is hashtag tier 1 Miniker. I mean, he's so quick. It feels like I've been behind him this entire season, but he's done a great job. I guess the past few tracks have been really strong for me, but I just haven't been able to win. I mean, Belgium was so close, and I think this race, he just extended his legs again. I had no battery the entire race. I was burning till 5% each lap. It was really hard this race to stay with him, but I guess safety car in the end kind of it didn't really worsen my chances for a win, but I feel like if there wasn't a safety car, I would have easily got P2, and at the end I was quite nervous, and I almost crashed on the final corners.
Talking about the end safety car there on about what it was lap 32, when you saw the last running drivers switch onto brand new softs, was there any sort of fear in your mind that these guys would crawl through order really quickly and pose some sort of threat?
Well, I mean, this track isn't really known for the overtaking, so I was never really too concerned. I knew that they had to get through at least 3 cars to get to me, and there's only really one overtaking spot, unless you've got a second a lap on the guy in front. Anyway, I think it was a pretty decent strategy. I think I could have waited a lap or 2 to box to mediums, but, you know, whatever. Still ended up P2. I think that was the best I could have got at the end. Minico is just way too quick.
Minico, again, like you said, showing what he's made of and stretching out those legs. We're going to go ahead and ask the stapled question, pretty much. We're going to Baku next week. Street circuit, very fast. What are your thoughts or expectations going to that one?
I'll be happy for a top 10. I hate that track with all my being. Miniker will win it unless something catastrophic happens. I know he loves that track. But yeah, I hope I find pace there. I mean, I'm 4 seconds off world record, and I'm usually 0.8 to a second, so it's gonna be hard, but hopefully I can find some pace.
Yeah, hopefully Baku will be just as action-packed as this one. Congratulations on your P2. And with that, we're gonna move over to your winner of the race for the 6th time in a row, twice in a row, Minico, up on the top step again. You keep doing this. What's the master plan here?
Literally, just straight up, since like the recent patch, they gave a traction buff. That's literally just been the defining moment the past couple of races. I mean, I've been getting incredible exits. That's really just the thing. Like, I'm able to use lower gears and get better exits. That's really why my pace as of recently has just been there. My God, yeah. The race was just plain and simple. I mean, getting pole, I wish... I'm a little annoyed at the race, to be honest. Yes, I won, but... First off, my teammate not only binning it in the early stages, but also just, like, making a couple mistakes there, here and there for him. And then to top it all off, he takes my fastest lap by a millisecond.
Yep.
Why? Like, I was so annoyed by that, but aside from that, it didn't really matter. I mean, the race just simply managed, and yeah, traction buff helping me, got it done, win, move on, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, it's one of those races.
Yeah, absolutely. And yet again, you showed off your skill to manage your ERS like no one other that I've seen in these tiers. What is your strategy behind that, or is it just you just have so much pace that you're just like nah?
Well, when it comes to this track, obviously, it's hard to overtake. I mean, like Bio said, there's only like one, maybe even two chances to even overtake around here. I knew that, so all I had to do, in reality, was just get good exits out of mainly the DRS zones. And then once I had that, there was no reason for me to really use any of it. And the only time I really did use it was when I was either trying to pull a 1 second or trying to get fastest lap. So I mean, like, it was just I was just more concerned about getting exits rather than using ERS, because the gap was just pretty much in a middle ground. I wasn't really too worried about my ERS levels.
Well, congratulations on your P1 yet again. Next week we move on to Baku. I've heard this is your favorite track, and so just gonna ask you expectations. What are you thinking for Baku? We expect to see another Minico at the top.
Oh, I'm gonna be cooking. Me and Baku, ever since I've joined this league, that's where my pace has really been all into. Like, if you ever see a dominant race, that would be my best bet. Baku, love the track. I've always loved the track. I just can't wait for next week, to be perfectly honest. I'm going to just absolutely love it.
And I am excited for next week as well. Hopefully the Red Bull team can come with more of a punch for Mercedes and get that fight a little bit more spicy than it is now.
And maybe settle things so then a certain someone doesn't take my fastest lap, eh? Dig, are you listening? Don't do that.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank the drivers for sitting in and having the post-race interview as always. Thank you for everyone watching this stream. Hope you guys enjoyed it just as much as I did commentating it. Join us next week, same time, for the Baku race at Azerbaijan. I've been Haz. You just watched Tier 2, round number 10 at BRL. Hope you enjoyed it. Have a fantastic night. Good night.
Bye.